Good evening everyone and welcome to F1 2019. This is Esports Mini League 3. We are here for rounds 3 and 4, the final 2 rounds of Mini League 3. First up it is the Suzuka Circuit, the Suzuka International Circuit from Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. And then it is of course the German Grand Prix from the Hockenheim Ring. Good evening everyone, I am James Head, fresh from my Mini League 2 commentary alongside Conti. A big thank you to Conti for joining me in the commentary box as well for that. I am going to be taking you through the Mini League 3 stream as always. Well, again for Mini League 3 I'm going to be taking you through. Sadly no Aiden once again, no comments list because of internet issues, so I'm filling in for the fray once again. We've got a couple of drivers I think we're waiting to join. But what I can do is run you through the point standings coming into tonight, and it is all to play for in all positions out on track. XL Racing Team, fresh off their debut last time out in France and Belgium, they are taking the lead on 136 points from Rising Phoenix Esports in second on 122. 14 points separating XL and RP out on track. Non-label Racing Team are in third, NLR are in third on 92 points, Young Walker Racers in fourth on 57, and OWR Esports in fifth on 29. Often you see, to be honest, an academy team outperforming a main team. So YWR outperforming OWR, currently out on track. Good to see. And coming into tonight, we have got everyone here pretty much. We've got 18 drivers currently in the session. 19 drivers, sorry, because I was thinking there was 2 spectators. There's not, there's just me. So we've got 19 drivers in. One team is missing a driver, so let's run through quickly the OWR team. So OWR have got Isotopic, Vax Vikiart, Vanderlei and Brewich, a new driver here for Mini League 3. NLR have got, as we look through, DJ Deal, Legend, Cup, and Hardy BM, so the same lineup from last week. And sorry, Charlie, I should say. Of course, Legend is part of RP. For XL Racing Team, we have got Dan, Gary, Neil was in amongst that, and I think the other driver, if I'm not mistaken, is Killer Blue. I might be wrong in saying that. We'll confirm that on the right-hand side of your screen when the names do indeed pop up. RP are represented by RP James, Legend, Flex, Marcel and Vrider, so they are represented, and I think it is YWR that might be down drivers, Axnes, Marquez and Marcus and Pariah. So YWR are the team down the 3 drivers, everyone else through with the team. Dan, Gary, Neo and the other driver for XL, just to clarify on that when it appears on my screen, is looking through Killer Blue. So I was right, I predicted that correctly without looking at the names on the right hand side. So Japan, obviously we are here. It is the only figure of 8 circuit in Formula 1. 18 turns await the drivers, 1 DRS zone that is only down the start-finish straight. Plenty of opportunity for overtaking around here, especially down into turn 1. Spoon down into turn 13 could be a place. Down into the hairpin at turn 11 could be a place as well. And also through possibly the Lesmos. Quite interesting to see. We should see some good action out on track. We're just waiting for the final cars to ready up, and we have now got a driver on board with, and it is OWR Brewich, the new signing to OWR here, and we're going to take you through a lap on board OWR Brewich as now comes through turn 1, now coming through turn 2. Very quick action through here from Brewich. Very nice through there. He's ahead of Art Vanderlei and Marcus at this stage. Through the centre S's, through 3, 4, 5 and 6. Very similar to what you see normally at Maggots and Beckett, and indeed at the Circuit of the Americas as well. Now through the Dunlop curve at turn 7. Very good through there from Brewich. The gravel on the right hand side can pose a little bit of a danger. And now Brewich approaching the first sector, 32.9 through the first sector for Brewich. Now through the 2 Lesmos, making short work of that, and now up the hill through turn 10 and then to the hairpin at turn 11 as Flex Marcel has retired from the session, so that is 1 RP driver down currently. Oh, and Brewich has lost it into the wall as well. Charlie is out of the session and Dan has had a bit of a moment as well. He's invalidated out on track. We go on board then with the man currently out on top. It's that man again. It's Neil for XL Racing as he now comes through Spoon at turn 14. Looking very nice indeed. Cup Legend, Gary, Hardly BM just in behind. NLR well up there with their 3 drivers remaining. But Neil currently out on top. 130R, 111 flat through the middle sector. Looking very nice through there from Neil. How far is he going to be ahead of the rest of the field? Well, you can take your predictions on that one in the comment section. Neil now coming down through the final corner, catching the bump. You can be thrown into the pit wall at that stage, but Neil across the line, he takes it by 0.4 of a second, and he gets a 27.5 out on top. Cup in second, Hardly BM in third. Greenwich, by the way, is still continuing on his lap. He will come across the line very shortly indeed, but we'll run down the full running order in just a second as we wait for Brewich to come across the line. Got 10 seconds, and there we go, he's coming across the line there. So a few disqualifications out on track. Charlie was included in that, but the Dutchman Neo still unbeaten in terms of qualifying. He produced qualifying performances in France and Belgium, and he now continues that on into Japan. So Neo takes it for XL. NLR second and third with Cup and Hardly BM. Good laps from them. Gary is in fourth from Killer Blue and fifth. So XL have got 3 out of the top 5. NLR have got 3 out of the top 6 as well. So XL and NLR have got 3 drivers with DJ Dio in 6th. Axnez, best of the YWR lot, in 7th. Ryder in 8th. RP James in 9th, both from RP Esports. Isotopic and Vax Viking for OWR 10th and 11th, YWR Pariah, Art Vanderlei, Brewich for OWR, then Flex Marcel, Ledyen for RP Esports. We've got YWR Marcus, XL Dan invalidating, and NLR Charlie as well. Good evening to everyone in the comment section. Hopefully you are all keeping all right on this fantastic Wednesday night. And we're about to get even better, I think, in terms of the action, because Japan is just moments away. The formation lap will begin. And good evening to everyone out on track. Marcus clearly had a few pints to drink, I think, looking through the comment section. Neil is a German. He doesn't like to talk, but nobody in TTG3 can walk any walk. Can talk the talk, I think that should be, to be honest. I think you can tell that the head of XL, and indeed one of the directors of League of Europe, is in fact drunk coming into tonight. Hashtag number 2, says B. Morgan. Fantastic to see the banter going on in the comment section. And good evening to everyone that is tuning in, of course, here tonight. Come on, XL minus Gary, says B. Morgan as well. That's not fair on Gary. Come on, he tries his best. He's in the lead of the League 2 standings for the Division 2 standings for League of Europe. Come on, give him a little bit of respect. All about being respectful here in TTG Mini League. And 13 laps await the drivers out on track, and the formation lap has now begun. So that is a good time to remind you guys of what you will come to expect in terms of the action out on track, and in terms of the liveries as well that each team are running. So Neo and XL are running the orange, black and white liveries. NLR have got the blue liveries out on top, and they are going to be running that as well. So Gary is Killer Blue, obviously running the same livery as Neo. NLR DJ Dio. Axnez running the purple livery for YWR. Ryder and RP James in a very similar looking livery, if I've got to be honest, to CPI, what we saw in Mini League 2. And in fact, it pretty much looks the same. Just a slightly darker version of yellow, I think that is, from the RP team. Isotopic and Vax Viking all running in the green running multiplayer car of OWR. There's Pariah as well in the purple. And that is a rundown of everyone pretty much in terms of the team. So let's have a look at the strategies then that everyone is on. And the majority of the guys going for a set of soft compounded tyres. Now the mediums, really the exception rather than the rule. Marcel, Legend, Dan and Charlie all on a set of medium compounded tyres. They'll be hoping to get around lap 8, lap 9 before they pit in, I would think. Set of softs probably round here, lap 5, lap 6 and then pit in just around that point. But the drivers will feel necessary, I think, to pit in wherever it feels like. And we should see, like we saw in France certainly, a lot of tactics around here in between teams. We've got drivers from XL and drivers from NLR right up there at the vanguard coming into tonight. Whether or not they incorporate team tactics and try and get as many points as possible remains to be seen. I think it is vital, to be honest, that all drivers should score points, that all drivers stay within the race. Even if they've had literally the worst race ever, they should still pick up 1 or 2 points, because again, it can be the difference between winning Mini League 3 and losing Mini League 3. And I mean, it's 14 points coming into tonight between XL and RP. And we're about to get going here for the action out on track. Who are your favourite drivers? Let us know in the comment section. Let me know your top 3 as well, as we are about to go for 5 red lights here in Japan for round 3 of Mini League 3. Long hold on the lights, but it's lights out and away we go. Cup responds faster than Neo, and Neo might have a little bit of company going down towards turn 1, but in fact Neo holds the lead down towards turn 1 and 2. So Neo leads, Cup in second, Hardy BM in third. There's all sorts of carnage in the background. Legend is being caught up in an instant with Greywitch. So Legend and Greywitch are being caught up in an instant, side by side in the meantime with Charlie and Dan. They take it nice and steadily, but Neo leads out in front from Cup in second, Hardy BM third, Killer Blue is up to fourth with XL Gary in fifth, DJ Dio in sixth. Pretty much the top 6 have remained as they are. Access running wide, could cause all sorts of carnage if he lost it. He doesn't. He's got Ryder and RP James in behind. Pariah as well. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. Pariah losing his right side end plate. He didn't realise, I think, that RP James would break slightly earlier for the corner. His teammate was ahead of him out on track, and contact was made. Right side end plate damage to the back of Pariah. On Vanderlei and Marcus just in behind, but out in front, Neo dominating. 8/10 of a second early as he catches the bum coming through Spoon. Or coming in towards Spoon now through 13 and 14, and Neil leads the way, the German. 9 Killer Blue 4th, Gary in 5th, DJ Deal 6th, Access 7th, Ryder in 8th, RP James 9th, and Pariah in 10th position. And everyone on settling down, looking very good. Only that bit of contact really between Legend and Greywitch, having a bit of a dampener really on what has been a phenomenal lap 1. Everyone has kept it nice and clean, apart from the Pariah contact as well. Everyone has kept it clean for the most part. Marcus has got through an Art Vanderlei further down the field, but in the end, Neil has got a 1.1 second lead already and is dominating down towards turn 1 already on the start of lap 2. Cup is in second, Hardy BM in third, Killer Blue is in fourth. So XL and NLR pretty much fill out the top 6 places. Killer Blue and Gary are the only ones actually out of the top 10 pretty much that has gained a place and lost a place. Ryder in the meantime is on the back of Axnes. Axnes now coming under pressure, of course. TTL F1 League 2 driver, which you'll see on Friday night, of course, Axnes. Ryder in the meantime on the back. Can he get the move done, I wonder, on the back of Axnes? They're both on a set of soft compounded tyres. We run on board with Ryder, who is on the back of Axnes. He's looking good actually out on track, Ryder, making sure that his tyres don't overheat or don't degrade at all. He's right on the back of Axnes, of course. The top 10 all on the same compound of tyre. Marcus, by the way, has gained 7 positions from the start, so Marcus up to 10th position from 17th on the grid. He was one of the ones that got disqualified within one-shot quali. Gary has just run slightly wide, could come under a little bit of pressure from DJ Deal, but now with the DRS train coming next lap around, pretty much onto lap 4 we'll get the DRS. It is really going to be interesting to see how these guys get on, and Art Vanderlei has lost it through Spoon. He's went into the gravel through Spoon. He's catching on board with that quite late, but Art Vanderlei is rounded through and he's back down to 15th position. In the meantime, back to Viking is coming under pressure from Dan, the Dutchman, on the back of the Norwegian. Can he get the move done, I wonder, running down the straight? Focus on this battle. Hardy BM is under pressure from Killer Blue further up the field. They're going nearly side by side through turn 1, but now Dan looking to the inside line. Could be the first overtake of the night. He's down the inside through turn 1, and that is clean sailing from Dan. He gets the move done, and he's up into the lead, and he's up into 11th position out on track, which of course will score 9 points if you are keeping a guide of the alternative point system that we've got. 25 points for first, 22 for second, 20 for third, all runs down towards 1 point. 18 points will get you 4th, 16 points will get you 5th, and then it's 15 downwards. Oh, and that is Marcus that is round. Marcus that is round through Dunlop Curve. We saw him reversing on track there. So he's lost it through Dunlop Curve and is now pretty much out of contention for a top 10, I would think. In the meantime, Flex Marcel trying to go down the inside line into the hairpin. Very respectful. He's got his teammate in behind Legend, recovering from that early error. He got caught up in that collision, of course, with Greywitch. And Legend carrying on with left side home plate. Probably the best decision, to be honest, to carry on, because Braywich is down in 18th position. Backstriking running wide through Spoon. Marcel right on the back. Neil has got a 2.2 second lead by the way out in front. There's a big DRS train spanning all the way from Cup down to DJ Dio. That is second to sixth. In the meantime, Ryder trying to get the move done on Access. I'm looking quite close there. Gary's into the pits. So Gary, the first one into the pits. Legend has got the move done on Flex Marcel, but I think that might have been a bit of a let-through from the RP boys. So Legend is moving up into 12th, and now can attack the back of Vax Viking. And this, you can probably see where this is going to go. Legend to the inside line, has got the move done on Vax Viking. Very clean sailing move, like we saw with Dan last lap around. Legend is through, and he's up into 10th. Fantastic stuff there from Legend. And now the RP boys can focus on getting forward. Essentially, Marcel could be the wingman to Legend there in 10th. We focus though on the battle for second. It's between Cup and Hardy BM. In fact, Cup is beginning to pull away slightly. Hardy BM coming under pressure from Killer Blue. Killer Blue, of course, ex-Division 1 of League of Europe. Division 2 of League of Europe. And of course, we've got the final round to come. Oh, DJ Dio having a bit of a snap of oversteer coming out of the hairpin. He's just lost 3/10 of a second there to Killer Blue. Killer Blue on the back, the brace against the Dutchman here. NLR running very good, I've got to say. Non-label racing, of course, the team. Killer Blue is on the back of Hartley BM, and I'll just confirm that name because I might have just butchered the team name there. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, non-label racing. I was right. Killer Blue on the back of Hartley BM though in the meantime. And now Killer Blue on the back of the Dutchman. Can he get the move done on the back of Hartley BM? Running down on the DRS though, I don't think he will be able to. He's getting closer, you can see him getting visibly closer to the back of Hartley BM. On the brakes, he's a lot closer. I'm not going to get the move done there. Neil, by the way, dominating out in front. Legend is into the pit. Oh, and Pariah is round through Spoon. So Pariah round through... Marcus was round, I think, through Spoon. That was Pariah that we were on board with. So Marcus is round through Spoon. He's just recently came out of the pits as well. Legend is into the pits to replace from wing damage. He's going to be out behind Charlie, I think. Yeah, he's going to be well in front of the guys behind. So, Legend coming out of the pits. He's in P15, and he could get some overcuts done for top 10 position. Killer Blue in the meantime, on the back of Hartley BM. As I'm absolutely dripping of sweat currently after my Mini League 2 commentary. It is very, very warm here in England. Killer Blue on the back of Hartley BM, and he's hoping to try and get the move done finally. We're on lap 5 out of 13. This race is going quite quick again. Germany will go even quicker, by the way. It's a shorter track, so we should see less time. Killer Blue on the back of Hartley BM. But Hartley BM still within the DRS range of Cup. If it was out with a second, Killer Blue would have a chance at getting Hartley BM down, and Hartley BM actually has a bit of opposite lock coming through the exit of the Casio Triangle. Killer Blue sees that, responds, and he's into the pit lane. DJ Dio is now freed up on the back of Hartley BM. You can see the three NLR boys running pretty much in line of stern, running down the straight. Marcel, though, on the back of Vax Viking. RP against OWR. OWR have got a mountain to climb if they want to try and get up. Oh, he switched to Ryder by mistake. Now Marcel on the back of Vax Viking. He's going to go for an overcommit and move down to turn 1. No, he doesn't. He's down the inside. Vax Viking saw him coming. He's going to try and prioritise the run of the corner. But I thought Marcel possibly was looking maybe a little bit too risky down the inside there. But in the end, Vax Viking saw him coming and gets the job done. So flex Marcel up into P8 out on track. Great move. Really good commitment there on the move. I thought that was never going to be pulled off. So comes to show that a commentator can be wrong sometimes. Oh, and Marcel is round. As soon as I say that, he is round. But he's drifted his way perfectly through Lesnar 1. 10 points for style there for Flex Marcel. And he rejoins just in front of Art Vanderlei out on track. He picks up a 3-second time penalty for his pain. But that was a very controlled drift through Lesmo 2. Through Degna 2, I should say. Not Lesmo 2, through Degna 2. So Flex Marcel, my God, that was a hairy moment for him. Art Vanderlei trying to go up the inside, not going to get the move done there though. He's going to try and pressurise Marcel in for a mistake. Neil, though, in the meantime, is into the pits from the lead of the race. And we're pretty much halfway through now. Here in Japan, we're on to lap 7 out of 13. And Neo was leading the race, but it now frees up for Cup into the lead of the race. Hardy BM in second, the majority of the guys are in. Dan, interestingly, is into the pit on a set of mediums. Set of softs can get quite far in Japan, around 50% certainly. Neo, by the way, is going to be rejoining, possibly in a little bit of traffic. He's not, actually, because there's back to Viking. Neo is going to be out in third. So he's out in clear air. 17 seconds to Hardy BM. And now Neo had a big advantage. It's about 20 seconds, I think, the gap between a pit stop around here and the guys coming out of the pit, so it could be quite interesting to see how these guys progress during the race. Legend, by the way, has got through, has got the fastest lap of the race, 29.8. He's going to be out behind his teammate RP James. Legend doing a good job out on track. It's gone a little bit stale, to be honest. Gary trying to get onto the back of Killer Blue. Killer Blue now out in essentially what is a net P2, but he's got traffic in front of him. This is not going to be the best idea for Killer Blue. He's not going to be gaining through. Could let Cup and Hardy BM, if he gets held up big time here by the likes of Art Vanderlei and Marcel ahead, who's still yet to pit, Killer Blue's going to be at a big disadvantage compared to the two NLR boys. And Killer Blue, I think, was fourth, and he's trying to go around the outside of Spoon. This will be committed if he can pull it off. He's not going to pull it off indeed, and Art Vanderlei holds on to the move. Went slightly off track, but Art Vanderlei still holds the P6. Cup and Hardy BM into the pitch from the lead of the race, by the way. Killer Blue on the back of Art Vanderlei running up towards 130 odd. Gary is on the back of this as well. A little bit of lag kicking up from Killer Blue. We switch to Gary. Killer Blue down the inside line into the Casio Triangle. Not going to commit the move though. Gary is on the back as well. So Cup and Hardy BM now coming out of the pit lane. They're pretty much in tandem coming out of the pit. And this is going to be quite close, you know, between Killer Blue and Vax Viking. There is Killer Blue. He's going to get one of them at least. He could get both of them. Killer Blue around the outside and Cup gets him. So Killer Blue ahead of Cup. Interestingly, not getting held up in the traffic. So Killer Blue now has got to focus on his race ahead. But he's got to be aware that he might be lagging slightly. If he's got a device on, turn it off if he can in the race. And that'll give him a better internet connection, of course. Hardy BM on the back of Gary. Really between, it's NLR really against XL, and no way is Hardy BM going to pull off this move on Gary around the outside of Degner 1, trying to pull off the move, not quite happening. And Hardy BM, I think he knew that wasn't going to work, but he tried around the outside, but he didn't get the move done. He tries down the inside of the hairpin, not going to get the move done there though. But there's a massive train of cars now pretty much formed. There's Vax Viking holding all of this up. Vax Viking now down to Cup, and then it's a bit of a break to Gary, who's losing a little bit of touch compared to the fresher tyres of Cup out there in 5th position. Neil, by the way, leads by what will be about a 6-second gap compared to Killer Blue in second. So Killer Blue undercut both NLR boys, but he's got to be careful here because Cup is right on the back of him. NLR Cup for the NLR team, and he's going to go around the outside here with the Casio Triangle. Not going to get the move done now though. Through turn 16, 17 and 18. Count up the corners as we go along. But gets caught on the inside bump. But now, who is the quicker down the straight? Out of this train, it could possibly be 3 wide down towards turn 1. Cup has got a tremendous toe, but he's going to have to stay in behind as Killer Blue tries to go around the outside of Flex Marcel. But this could let Cup on the inside. It's going to be side by side out of turn 2. Now through the sunrises at 3, 4, 5 and 6. Tell you what, it's fantastic racing here between Cup and Gary. Marcel is holding these guys up a treat, and he's really getting held up by Vax Viking as well as Killer Blue is trying to force his way through on Marcel. Can the inside switch work going round into Degner 1? I think it will. He's going to get the move done. Marcel's got to be careful. Cup realises it. He's got to try and force it move on Marcel, but Marcel stays out in front of him. Big disadvantage now for the NLR boys, and Gary as well is caught up in this. Trying to go round the outside. Oh, covers down the inside of Marcel. On the BM, it's all getting chaotic here in Japan. It's XL against NLR. Flex Marcel's in there as well. There's a bit of end plate damage. There's somebody off. On the BM is off, and I think he lost his white side end plate and all that. And DJ Dio has lost it as well. All going to pot here for NLR against XL. Flex Marcel doing a good job defending, but all sorts of carnage happening in there in the background. I would love to see a replay cam. We haven't got one, sadly, for Mini League 3. All of this, though, has brought Neo into an 8-second lead, pretty much, as Vax Viking will have to come into the pits and is trying to get an overcut from Heaven. Hardy BM, in the meantime, on the back of Dan. Gary has had a moment out of the Casio Triangle, so Gary is round through the Casio triangle. Oh, and Hartley BM down the inside. Gets caught in the bump. Goodness me, that was close. Gary, though, sails past Hartley BM. And now Dan sails past him as well. And is Dan going to go up the inside? Possibly on Gary, he doesn't. Hartley BM trying to fight around the outside. It's hard but fair racing here in Mini League 3. Dan and Gary hold on to the position from Hartley BM, who of course lost it into the gravel. Oh, take a breath, catch a breath. Goodness me. Oh. The remaining drop of my drink has been drunk. Cup on the back of Killer Blue in the meantime, and Cup trying to get the move done here. Vax Viking, by the way, has come into the pits. He's out in P13, so he's best of the OWR boys at this stage. Axnes is driving a very good race, and Ryder as well. So Ryder driving a very good race out on track. Marcel will have to come into the pits, I think, but Ryder has certainly got a good competition here for P4, certainly maybe for P5, because Axes obviously catching on the back of him. But Ryder and Axes, two drivers that have really been under the radar in this race, now beginning to get into contention, possibly to sneak a P5 out on track, which is good to see. Neo in the meantime is 8 seconds clear of Killer Blue. Cup is on the back of Killer Blue though in the meantime. And Cup now will be trying to size up a move on Killer Blue. We drove a very good race here in League of Europe Division 2 off the back of my mind. And I comment this race, of course, for League of Europe. Cup down the inside line though on Killer Blue. Oh, I tell you what, he's going to try and go down the inside line here. And he gets the move done. Cup. Killer Blue just fell out slightly wide, gave Cup much more room to manoeuvre with, and he's through. He's up into P2 out on track, and that's what you get if you're on fresher tyres. You get a move done like that. Cup is through and he's up to second. And Axnes trying to focus onto the back of Ryder as well. This is now for P4 and 5 out on track. Gary and Dan well up there as well. XL, by the way, have got 4 drivers in the top 7. RP have only got 1, or 2 actually, in the top 10. Flex Marcel and RP James, the other 2 guys out on track. And in fact, RP James is having a good battle here with down the Castillo Triangle. He'll say that. He's picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's trying to switch it back now on Braywich, and Braywich now under pressure from RP James. And now RP James, not for the wooden spoon out on track, it's for P18 out on track, and RP James on fresher tyres gets past on Braywich, and he's through, and he's up into P18. So that'll be 3 points possibly going his way out on track. So RP James through, and he's up into 18th. Killer Blue though on the back of Cup, already towards lap 12. Neo about to go and start the penultimate lap of the race. It is Cup in second, but Killer Blue on pressurising Cup now. A little bit of lag there from Killer Blue. 3-second time penalty picked up. Running down the straight, you can see Cup trying to break the toe. He's broken the toe enough, I think, because Killer Blue is not going to get the move done and not going to be close enough down towards turns 1 and 2. But you can see him lagging through turn 1. Dan, in the meantime, has been let go by Gary, so Dan is now through, and he's up into P6. Marcel is coming under a little bit of pressure from Vax Viking as well, further down the field. P11 and 12 out on track. Again, the RP boys doing a good job. Ryder Legend and Flex Marcel, 3 drivers within the top 12 for RP. Any chance of them winning Mini League could, however, be going out of the way, because coming into tonight, XL obviously are joining, and Passels has joined. I'm not sure why Passels would join the session, unless he is a reserve driver for a team. Anyways, I'm not sure if he's driving. I'm not sure if he's just appeared in from absolutely nothing. Goodness knows. In the meantime, Neo leading the way from Cup in second, Killer Blue in third, Ryder 4th, Axnes 5th, Dan in 6th, Gary 7th, Hardy BM 8th, Legend 9th, DJ Dio after that spin in P10, he's still keeping on going. P11 for Flex Marcel, Vax Viking 12th. It's all really gone to pot further down the field, but in the meantime, Dan is right on the back of Axnes, and these softs are really coming into play now for Dan. The final lap of the race is about to begin. Niels came across the line, as have the 2 leaders as well, Cup and Killer Blue. 7/10 of a second separated, but now Dan is on the back of Axnes. Norwegian under pressure here from Dan. And you can probably see where this one's going to go. He's going to have to think about it around the outside through turn 1. Axnes forces them off track, off camber of the corner. It's very difficult to go side by side through there. I think Dan might just feel slightly hard done by as Gary picks up a 3-second time penalty in behind, and Legend is coming into contention as well. He's right on the back of Hardy BM, and Hardy BM now under pressure. Can RP try and scrape another couple of points out here on track? Passels, by the way, has left the session. I think it might be an open session, and Legend is down the inside into Dunlop curve. Oh my god, the commitment there from Legend was fantastic to see, but he was never going to get the move done, I'm afraid. That was commitment in itself, but I think there would have been inevitable contact between them both out on track. Charlie, by the way, is on the back of Isotopic, running down through turn 1 and 2. The 16th and the 15th and 16th out on track, I should say. In the meantime, though, we're already nearly at the end of the race. Neo is coming round the final couple of corners, and the Casio triangle awaits for him. It's been a fantastic race from Neo. A dominant win. He's 3 out of 3 in Mini League 3. Excel might be wrapping up the championship here. Neo wins and sets the fastest lap of the race as well. True Neo style. Cup is going to be coming across the line in second. Killer Blue across the line in third. Getting very close to the wall there. Penalty though for Killer Blue. Won't matter. Ryder, by the way, is under pressure. Access, by the way, under pressure from Dan. It's a drag race to the line. Very close. 700th of a second in favour of Axnes. Ryder finishes in 4th. Axnes 5th. Dan in 6th. Gary 7th. Hardy BM is right on the back of Legend right at the end. Legend defending that, although he had a penalty. So Hardy BM jumps up into 8th. Dio across the line in P10. Marcel across the line in 11th. I think there might be a few drops of position here for him. Yeah, he's got a few penalties out on track. Vanderlei across the line in 13th. Marcus up to 12th. Isotopic, yeah, so I think Marcel will finish 13th. Vanderlei 14th. Charlie's recovered well after early contact. Recovered well for 16th. Isotopic has gained a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I think. Pariah across the line in 17th. You can really forget the races of RP James and Brewich. I'm sure they will come back a lot stronger within the second race in Germany at the Hockenheim Ring. And Brewich about to come across the line in 19th position. Very rare to see all 19 finish in Mini League 3, but it comes to show that every single point matters within Mini League 3. And it was Neo who took the race 1 win. Race 2 still to come in Hockenheim, but a fantastic win from Neo. He's 3 out of 3 in Mini League 3 and taking the fastest lap of the race as well. The Grand Slam, pretty much. Pole position, fastest lap, and the win out on track. And is this man for stopping, I wonder? Can anybody stop him in race 4 in Germany? Germany's home track, one of his favourite ones as well. But fantastic racing once again in Mini League 3. A little bit of early contact, a little bit of contact throughout the race as well. But again, on the whole and on the majority, the standards of driving very good indeed. There is the full rundown of the grid for you. Neo winning from Cup in second, Killer Blue in third, Ryder in the end finishing in 4th with Axnes in 5th, Dan in 6th, Gary 7th, Hardy BM down to 8th with Legend in 9th, DJ Dio in 10th, Max Viking 11th, Marcus in 12th, Marcel in 13th, Vanderlei 14th, Charlie 15th, Isotopic 16th, Pariah 17th, RP James 18th, and Brewich rounding off in 19th position. So all 19 drivers finish. Are we going to see another driver of YWR join, I wonder, because they were missing one driver coming into tonight, but we shall see. Have a look at the comment section to have a look at some of the comment section, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the action out on track. Well done to Vax Viking out on track. Somebody clearly disliking what is happening out on track there as well. GG to OWR with Mark. Well done to Vax Viking as well in that race. And yeah, fantastic stuff out on track. Good to see a lot of good comments there. Often one unsavoury one, but there you go. Nobody can like the... everybody can like the racing at the end of the day, but there's always that one. Germany, though, up next. 17 turns await the drivers out on track. And we should see some good racing once again out on track tonight. And hopefully in Germany, we're going to be seeing some good overtaking as well. There are 2 DRS points, one down the start finish, one down through turns 1 and 2, and then run down through Parabolica through 5 and 6. And hopefully the guys out on track are going to be enjoying the action just as much as you have. And if you have been enjoying the action from Mini League 2 and 3, then of course do leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. And if you have been enjoying the action first and foremost, there are 19 drivers once again. So YWR not having their extra man in. That might be costly in the fight with OWR. But hopefully some good action going to be happening again out on track. And it's Germany. And we always get a good race around here. I've commentated plenty of times around here at Hockenheim. And I don't think we ever get a bad race out on track. Which I think is fantastic. We never get a bad race out on track. And hopefully this will be the same for the 19 guys that will take to the track. Of course, one-shot qualifying to decide who is going to be on pole position first. Good evening to everyone that is tuning in, of course. Just having a look at some of the comments. NLR are in with their YouTube account, which is good to see. the rapid kudos, I think that is from Mark. I'm not going to repeat the F word that he said in that comment. Neo 8 seconds ahead. Yep, that is his true pace. And you will see his true pace again, I think, around here in Germany. And again, it should be fantastic racing out on track, as somebody again random has joined the session and has left the session. So we thank that person for joining in anyways. We've had Passels join and now somebody else. This must be an open lobby, I think. It has to be in like an invite only session. So if somebody has actually invited someone on their friends list, don't just invite the guys that are scheduled to race. It's better for us, and it's better for the organisation, and it's better for Gary to not worry about either. So we should be seeing, as I said, some good action on track. We're probably about 5 or so seconds away from the action to begin for one-shot qualifying. And I have a feeling we're going to go back on board with Brewich for his lap of the Hockenheim ring. We might go on board with somebody different, and we are going on board with Neo. So we go on board with somebody completely different. Neo at his home track through turn 1. Someone catching out quite a few, I think. RP James back striking out Vanderlei, I think, have just invalidated the lap through turn 1. Now Neo through turn 2. He's got Pariah and Cup well up there. And is Neo going to get the fastest lap once again? 15.6 through the first sector. Killer Blue well up there as well. Neo, of course. I think he's an ex-podium finisher in League of Europe Division 1, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got a bit of experience around here. DJ Dio well up there. And we'll go through the hairpin nicely. As now they come down towards the Mercedes-Benz section through 7 and 8. And this is up towards 8, 9, 10, 11. Count the turns here. I count 4. The F1 map counts 4. How many do you count? 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 3 corners there. Doesn't make sense. Neo, 49.1 through the middle sector, through turn 12 and then up towards Sachs Curve. How famously Vettel went off in the wet in 2018. And a year to the day where we mark Nicky Lauda's sad passing, Neo comes around the final corners at one of the temples of speed. Temple of speed, of course, being Italy, but Neo across the line. Oh, well, he's just taken that to a whole new level again. It's 0.5 of a second. I think it's best of the rest in terms of the guys in behind. Neo takes pole position. Quite a few disqualifications there. Vanderlei spiking amongst those to get disqualified, as was RP James. But Neo out on top by nearly 4.5 of a second. Bigger advantage than in Japan. Top 9, by the way, separated by less than 0.8 of a second. Killer Blue second, Cup in third, with Ryder in fourth, Legend in fifth, Charlie in sixth, Axnez in seventh, Hartley BM is in eighth, Gary in ninth, Marcel in 10th, Pariah in 11th, Isotopic 12th, DJ Deal 13th, Brewich in 14th, Marcus, Dan, Vaxviki, Vanderlei and RP James all getting disqualified from the session, picking up invalidations out on track. But once again, it is Neo taking his 4th consecutive pole position coming into tonight. And is there any stopping this man out on track? I mean, we know his pace. I know his pace from commentating on him in the past. But, I mean, he's just showing these guys up. The rest of he's showing his own teammates up, if I've got to be honest. Which is not the greatest thing in the world. But hopefully we're going to be seeing some good action, and Germany always promises to be a good race. As I say, there's 17 turns awaiting the drivers, 17 laps as well. who are your favourite drivers? Who's your top 3 as well? Who do you predict to win the mini league? Is it Excel? Could they have a disastrous race? Or could it be RP, who was second and 14 points behind coming into tonight? I don't think they'll be 14 points behind now, but we're going to see anyways how this race is going to progress and how on earth this thing is going to be decided. But as I say, I think it's going to be a case of Excel possibly winning this in the battle for second between NLR, who had a really good, strong first race, against RP. Rising Phoenix Esports, of course, being RP. If you're just tuning in, you've missed race 1. Where on earth have you been, first and foremost? Oh, and Neo hits off Killer Blue through turn 1, and that's not what you like to see. Okay, it's a formation lap, but not sure what happened there between them both. Anyways, everyone pretty much on a set of soft compounded tyres. The only one, the lonesome figure of RP James at the back of at the back of this field is on a set of medium compound of tyres. So RP James right at the back of the field. He is going to be hoping for a minor miracle, I think, from the back of the field. But we should see some good action, as I already alluded to, out on track. We should see some good racing. In terms of the strategies around here, softs will probably last to around lap 8, I'm thinking, maybe at lap 7, lap 8 at a push, maybe even before that. I would think the first pit stops will be had. Mediums, however, will pit in around lap 10, lap 11, and then go out onto the set of softs for the remaining 6 laps. It is quite a high degradation track in terms of tyres, about 4-5% I think in terms of the tyre length around here, and of course 25% race, not your traditional 50% race if you've tuned into TTL F1, League 1 or any of our TT leagues for that matter. But for me, my top 3 coming into tonight, I've got to have Neo on top. There's no other man I would have on top, to be honest. Second, I think Ryder might have a good race for RP in second, and for third, I'm going to go for Killer Blue. I think Killer Blue might have a good race in third. Watch out for Dan. Down in 16th position. Watch out for him. He's got pace around this track. He could do well from 16th. He's the one to watch, I think, and look out for Pariah as well. Those 2 to focus on. But the 5 red lights are about to go out here in Germany for round 4, the final round of Mini League 3. And it's lights out and away we go. Neo gets a very good start, but so does Ryder, and Ryder's going to cut through possibly up to second early on. Neo's already clear through turn 1. Charlie down the inside on Legend gets the move done. There's a bit of ghosting inside, and Killer Blue has lagged slightly into, I think that was Charlie. So Killer Blue now down into, well, he's way down the field by the looks, and in fact he's disappeared on my screen. He's down into 14th. But Vanderlei's had a moment through turn 2, and a little bit of contact possibly with another car. That looks like Braywich. Neil, though, on the run down towards the hairpin for the first time. Braywich leaves the session. He shouldn't leave the session. There's still points up for grabs for every single point out on track. Hardly BM and Axnes going side by side. They're all side by side and in behind. Dan has gained up a few positions. Killer Blue as well gained up a few positions. There was just a bit of lag in between them both. Oh, and Hardly BM has contacted the back of Axnes. And Axnes, oh, everyone does well in fact. That was Dan or Gary, I think, getting caught up in that as well, having to cut across the grass. Quite a few wide in the background. The mid-pack battle just really not really being the best standards, to be honest, on lap 1. Killer Blue again has been overtaken by Pariah, but at the end of lap 1, pretty much that is a lap already of Hockenheim done, and Neil leads the way from Cup in second. Ryder is in third, and Ryder's got a tremendous start in third position, got a tremendous start off the line, and now he's on the back of Cup. Remember, the DRS will not be enabled until next lap around, so the RP man is going to try and do this the old-fashioned Formula 1 way, with no DRS and no curves or anything like that, and no ERS these days. But we see Ryder catching the back of Cup. Will the RP man be close enough to the back of Cup, running down into the hairpin? Inside was there for him to have a go. As that is Legend trying to go for the move on Charlie as well. Marcel is through and Hardly BM. They're fighting hard in the background of the shot. Gary is through as well on Dan. Around slightly wide. It's now side by side between Hardly BM and Marcel. Oh, a little bit of contact, wheel to wheel banging there. Marcel down the inside, it's just a little bit too touchy. And it was the final round of the mini league, but come on, driving standards have got to be better than this. Isotopic called up an incident with Hardly BM, who was sent round by, I think that was Legend going up the inside of him, Marcel, sorry, going up the inside of him and caught the back of him. So, unfortunately, contact made. Isotopic is round through turn 11. All just falling apart slightly here in Mini League 3. Neo leads the way from Cup in second, Ryder in third. Neo passes lap the rest, 1:13.8. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. And it looked like it might have been Hardly BM. Ryder now pressurising Cup. Neo already 2 seconds up the road. Ryder in the meantime on the back. Is the RP man going to get the move done on LR? This is for second, remember, really in the constructors, in the team standings. Ryder trying to go around the outside, he'll switch it back on the inside. This could be a good move, but Cup just parks it on the apex beautifully. Not even on the apex, right in the middle of the track. He just parked that car to absolute perfection. He holds for P2 for now. There's no way Marcel was going to get past, Ryder, was going to get past on Cup. Gary, by the way, has got through on Marcel, and Marcel just over committing himself once again into the Mercedes-Benz section. Well, into the Mercedes grandstand section, I should say. Dan, in the meantime, is on the back of Marcel, and they get the move done. But XL currently doing a good job out on track, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream so far. If you are, of course, do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, we're taking this pretty much out of our... I'm taking time out of my life as well to commentate for you guys. Just coming into tonight as well, XL, by the way, 210 points leading from RP second, 164, NLR in third on 143, YWR 86, 53 points for OWR, unofficial points right there. So that is the points difference. Ryder in the meantime on the back of Cup, and now Charlie trying to get onto the back as well. Ryder just sails past Cup, no DRS. And no coming back. Ryder is through and he's up into second position, and currently 2/3 of my prediction is currently right. Apart from Killer Blue's lag through turn 1, everything is going right again for one of my predictions tonight. Ryder now still under pressure from Cup. Charlie though looking quicker, arguably maybe of the 3. Just saying that, he just dropped off slightly. Legend trying to catch onto the back as well. RP is looking quite strong in this race once again. I'm just saying that, Legend again. It's just gone into the gravel. Goodness me, I'm commentators cursing left, right and centre now. Don't want to be doing that. Neo is still leading from Ryder in second, but now Ryder and Cup are actually into the pit. So Ryder and Cup interestingly into the pit because Charlie go through shot there. So now Cup on to set a medium compound tyres. He'll come into his pit box. See everyone coming in and behind as well. Oh, and there's been a hold up in the pit lane, and it looks like it might have been YWR Marcus that was held up by Cup, so they're not really teammates out on track. Marcus has been held up by the same pit crew as Cup. That's unfortunate, but that's kind of the advantage that has just happened there. He's just held up one of his own rivals. That's what you got to think about it. TJ Dio on the back of Access, running down into the hairpin at turn 6. To get the move done, he can't. My voice beginning to take its toll slightly. RP James has got right side end plate damage, but still driving strongly in 7. Different gains, by the way. Most of the guys still yet to come into the pits, or certainly in the top half of the field, still yet to come into the pits. Marcus, in the meantime, has been led through by Pariah. So Marcus through, and he's up into 13th position. There is in terms of the stops. The top 8 still yet to pit. They're all, I think, on a set of soft bar RP James, which from the back of the field. Neo into the pits though from the lead of the race. And on to lap 6 we go, pretty much as I expected, to be honest, in terms of the softs pitting in. Drivers not making these tyres last long. You can get 10 or 11 laps out of these mediums. Then to the pits Neo goes from the lead of the race, and he's actually going to rejoin in the lead of the race. So Neo has rejoined ahead of RP James. It's going to be very close actually on the exit. RP against XL. Oh, Neo is just about going to get out on top. So Neo was in the lead, holds the lead, but for now, for how long? Because James is on the back of him. Can RP James, the Irishman, get the move done on Neo, the German? Oh, a little bit of nearly coming together, running down the straight. RP James is locked up. Neo's got to sail by down the inside, get superior traction, and he left the door wide open there. I think he just overcommitted himself into the corner slightly. RP James trying to do his best to disrupt XL, but I'm afraid it didn't really work because Neo is now through and he's back into the lead of the race, and that gap will just continue to increase now throughout the course of this lap. Max Viking trying to go a little bit longer, trying to go possibly the next lap around into the pit lane. He should come this lap, I would think, or maybe next lap. Max Viking though under pressure from Ryder. Ryder's already been into the pits, only in the next second out on track. And Max Viking indeed is into the pits, so Max Viking in. Be coming out probably around Pariah, Killer Blue, isotopic sort of area, I would imagine. That frees up Cup now on the back of Ryder. And RP James, I don't think he's going to hang around to hold up his teammates. He could be using, Ryder could use James as a wingman here. And in fact, they've let each other through turn 3, which is not the best place to overtake. That is actually given the run to Cup now, and it's going to be 3 wide. Cup trying to get the move done. RP James trying to filter through, but it's like a parting of the Red Sea. They've got to be careful. It's 3 wide into the hairpin. Oh, that's very close. Oh, they get caught up in each other, and that's not how you end 3 wide through the hairpin, I'm afraid. And now Charlie has just taken full advantage of that, and he's up 2 positions, up to 3rd. So Charlie, Ryder just got, they all looked like the look went a little bit too deep into the corner. They just got caught in each other purely. Nobody's fault, to be honest. Cup trying to go the inside, maybe not the wisest decision in the world. They made it 3 wide, but relatively good racing. I mean, they did make contact, but not that much contact, to be honest. Legend has just been let through by RP James, and now Gary is going to be held up, the Irishman. Killer Blue, by the way, is responding well. Pariah, by the way, Max Viking, by the way, came out in the pits behind Pariah as well. Out on track, but Neo, the sole man out in front, leads by 5.6 seconds. RP James is into the pits to go on softs onto lap 8. Bit of a questionable decision if he's going to go on to set of soft compounded tyres there for RP James. In the meantime, Flex Marcel is on the back of Dan. RP running very strongly actually out on track. They've got 3 other drivers in the top 8. Marcelo in the meantime on the back of Dan. We're pretty much halfway through the race. So you guys enjoying the stream. Hockenheim always producing some good action. And not really many overtakes that we've seen. Pariah in the meantime trying to go for a switchback on Killer Blue. Contact him a little bit, but let him go. Pariah still in 13th, Killer Blue still in 12th. Good to see good sportsmanship shown there. There's a little bit of a hold up from them. Everyone though has been into the pits at some point in the race. RP James the latest to come into the pits. Jen on the back of Cup. 2 Dutchmen about to go at it. RP against NLR, and again NLR running quite strongly. They've got 3 of their drivers in the top 10, and so have RP, and so have XL. The only other exception is YWR Marcus down in 10th, so actually XL fell out 1st, 6th and 7th, Ryder and RP fell out 2nd, 5th and 8th, and NLR finish out 3rd, 4th and 9th. Really, really close, I think, towards the end of the season. If the stays as it is, I think XL might just nick it out on track, and will probably be crowned Mini League 3 victors here. In the meantime, though, Charlie on the back of Ryder, closing right up into the hairpin. Not close enough to get the move done. And everyone else in behind just running a bit of a DRS trend. There's not really many opportunities for overtaking and behind. Axnez trying to close up on Marcus. Everyone coming through the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section nicely through turns 8, 9 and 10 and 11. Yeah, you can ignore the 4th corner there. There was definitely 3. That was Braywich's AI car getting out of the way. Now, beautiful helicopter cam through Sachs Curve. Neil leading the way by 6.3 seconds. Ryder is in 2nd. Charlie in 3rd. Cup 4th. Legend in 5th. Gotta say, very good action once again out on track. Again, a little bit of contact early on in the race. Maybe the driving standards dropping with it being the final race of the season, or the final race of the Mini League 3, certainly. But of course, if you miss Mini League 2, we should see some good action. If you didn't see Mini League 2, you can go and watch that back on the stream as well. And hopefully we're going to be bringing you Mini League 2 again next week. It'll probably be myself taking you through that one. Charlie in the meantime on the back of Ryder. Here he comes down the inside line. And Larman on the back of the... Oh, very close, and now Cup could have a superior run, and that's beautiful. Beautiful run from NLR. And Ryder has just been held up an absolute treat. There's nothing really you could do much about that. Ryder's trying to go around the outside, but NLR have just played an absolute blinder there. And Cup is now up to P2. Charlie down up to P3, but down into P3 because he lost the position to Cup. Cup now up to P2 from P4, so he gains 2 positions, and you have to feel for Ryder, who's now let through Legend. Ryder going to be acting possibly as wingman to Legend out on track. Jadil trying to get onto the back of Marcel, but it's 3.7 seconds the gap. Marcus is now on the back of DJ Dio himself, so the Norwegian looking to try and get the overtake done. 1 lap 11 out of 17. Ryder has picked up a 3-second time penalty through turn 1. And now Marcus on the back of DJ Dio. You're right on board with the Norwegian. Beautiful, beautiful commitment through turn 1. And beautiful move down the inside of turn 2 perhaps. Or is he going to wait for the DRS? No, he's going to try and get the move done here and now. No, that's cheeky from Marcus. He realises the DRS point is coming, and that was smart, but it's now 3 wide in the meantime, as now Marcus, oh, and they've all contacted each other. Not nice at all. Axnes, Marcus and DJ Deal 3 wide down the straight, having to take a void in action pariah as well. And again, the standards of driving drop there between the 3 of them. So unfortunately, it looked like possibly it was Marcus that was trying to get the move done, or Axnes trying to go around on the inside line through Parabolic. It was a shocking camera angle to try and go off, but honestly, that should have been committed a bit better. There was plenty of room on the track for that to really work, and it didn't. And I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that one for sure. Legend, though, in the meantime, is on the back of Charlie. After my other commentary, my voice is now suffering. Legend trying to go around the outside. I think, to be honest, oh, Charlie and Legend lean on each other. And he's going to get the DRS out of the 2 of them. They both get DRS, actually. And now Ryder is involved as well. So Legend, RP trying to play NLR at their own game. Switching to the inside, Charlie. Oh, and he's late on the brakes. Down the inside. Very, very wide, and it's still 3 wide coming out of there. Oh, and they've made contact. Charlie and Legend have made contact. Gary passed them through like the Red Sea. It could be up to 3rd here for Gary actually out on track. Trying to go around the outside. Excel against RP. It's just boiling over. Tensions maybe boiling over a little bit too much here in Mini League 3. It's not really the greatest advertisement for the community at all. I'm sure these guys will reflect on their races and maybe learn a bit more respect for each other. Charlie, in the meantime, on the back of Gary. 3/10 of a second on the back of Gary. Now Gary up to P4, really excelling out on track, and pardon the pun. That was a terrible one, I know. The Irishman trying to get onto the back of Ryder. Ryder now under pressure, but again, he's driving a very good race. I predicted him for, I think, 3rd, so I'm nigh on right with that one. My predictions are going not too bad tonight, to be honest. I hope we can keep it up for TTL F1 League 1 tomorrow when I join Kieran McGinley for that race in Circuit of the Americas, penultimate round of the championship there. Gary, in the meantime, on the back of Ryder, trying to get the move done here. Ran the outside into the hairpin. He could switch this back. Oh, and then Charlie is miles too deep. Goodness me, did he realise his braking point, and he's just cost the front wing damage of Dan as well. Not really on, to be honest. Not sure if he was he trying to let through Legend? Oh, and he's overheated the tyres completely. Dan has now got damage. He lets through Dan. He lets through Marcel. And yeah, I'm not really going to speak much about that one, to be honest. Gary, on the meantime, on the back of Ryder. Focus on action that might be actually clean for once. Gary, 4/10 of a second behind on Ryder. RP against Excel. NLR coming into contention. There's the yellow flag in sector 2. Isotopic is round through turn 8. Rejoins track in front of Axnes out on track. In fact, that might be an AI car he's just joined in front, and it is indeed an AI car that he's just joined in front. That'll be Brewick. But Marcel trying to look to the inside of Dan. Oh, they lean on each other slightly. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing some good action, and hopefully 3 wide might work this time, because Charlie's on the back of this as well. Dan without any DRS. Marcel hasn't got the straight line screen, and now Charlie could be there to pick up the pieces. He could lunge just down the inside. He's not too late on the brakes this time around. He's a bit more respectful. And yeah, that's how to do it. That's how to do it. He's more conservative. He's realised his mistake. He went wide last time around. Cost Dan front wing damage. He realised his mistake. That's what we like to see. Drivers learning from their lessons out on track. So Charlie on the back of Dan, trying to pull off the move. And he'd be hoping to try and pull off the move and not rejoin dangerously onto track like he did with Dan. Dan was unfortunately the one that was caught up in a little bit of a side swipe, if we've got to be honest. Neil, by the way, is coming, he's already gone through onto the third last lap of the race. So on to lap 15, Neil leads, Cup second, Ryder third, Gary fourth. Legend has got suddenly into contention here for possible P3. And some, as I say, some good racing out on track, but the standards of driving just dropping from what we've had in Mini League 3. And I mean, last week you can probably tell the difference between that. Say, for example, you take Belgium's race last week against this race. There's no exception, rather than the rule, that Belgium would be probably the better race. Gary, in the meantime, they're just lagging each other slightly. Oh, and it's side by side out of the hairpin. We saw Charlie and Dan having a bit of a fight. Charlie now down the inside line, leaning on each other slightly. Dan with the superior traction around the outside. Gary on the inside line of Ryder, trying to get the move done. Oh, and Legend has a bit of a half moment there. Goodness me, good car control there by Legend. Just trying to overcommit himself. Gary's on the inside line through turn 12? No way. Ryder is still hanging on. These guys know respect when they see it. Oh, and as soon as I say that, they make a little bit of contact. I think it was just a bit of a half slide there from Ryder. Nothing he could have done about it. Went into the side of Gary. Gary now up to P3, Ryder down to P5. Nothing really could do about that one. It looked like Ryder caught a slide, and now he's down into P5. And now RP, currently, apart from James, they're in 4th, 5th and 6th out on track. So they might gain on XL here in terms of the points difference, and in fact XL are actually kind of nearly ahead of RP. So yeah, they are ahead in terms of points in this race, certainly. My voice is going, as you can probably tell. Legend on the back of Gary. Here he comes down the inside, the Dutchman on the Irishman. Job done for Legend. Has he got the move done though? And he's going to go wide across the track. He doesn't need to, as he's got the move done. It looked like actually that DRS was actually stuck open for a second there. Anyways, Legend through to P3, Gary down to P4. We've got one more lap to go. Hopefully my voice is going to last that long. Neil around the final corner to start what will be the final lap of the race, but he might be over pushing it slightly because he's just trying to go quicker for fastest lap, and unfortunately I saw that mistake for him out on track. It's a slight one, but still a mistake nonetheless. Cup across the line, running no man's land in second. He's going to be picking up second for NLR here. Legend in third. It's all gone a little bit quiet now further down the field. Sorry if I haven't caught on board with any battles further down the field as well. Hardly BM is trying to get onto the back of Marcus here for P11 and 12. Don't think we're going to see any overtakes up further up the field. Hardly BM trying to get the move done on Marcus. Marcus looking very slow out of the corner, trying to defend the position. Why do we war against NLR here onto the final lap of the race? Hardly BM pressurising Marcus, but is he going to be close enough to get the move done, I wonder, through? Neil, by the way, is already coming. Is that him already coming through in towards? Yeah, he's already coming towards Sachs Curve. Goodness me. So we'll quickly go on board with Hardly BM. He looks like he's going to get this job done. You should see the purple car of Marcus to the left-hand side. Marcus forced him across. Oh, and that's not nice. That is not the best piece of driving I think I've ever... That is certainly one of the worst pieces of driving I think I've seen. Neo across the line and wins. Tensions flaying over. There was no need for that at all. Cup going to be coming across the line in second. One of the cleaner drivers from NLR. Legend going to be coming across the line in third. He's driven a very good race, I've got to say so myself. Even with a penalty, he's drove well. Gary's third, Legend fourth, Ryder fifth, Marcel in sixth, RP gained points, Charlie up to sixth, Killablu up to sixth though, Dan up to eighth, Pariah is going to be across the line in 10th position, and Marcus, by the way, still going, he's in P14. I thought that would have ended his race, but it hasn't, luckily. Hardly BM across the line in 11th. Whether he finishes there is another thing. That's Viking across the line in 12th. DJ Deal is going to be coming across the line in 13th. Marcus across the line in 14th as well. He's kept the car going with hardly any front wing. Gotta salute him that. 14th, 15th for Axner, 16th for Isotopic. RP James is going to be coming across the line in 17th. Another race to forget for him. He jumps a position though. And Art Vanderlei around the final corner is going to be across the line in 18th. Grey, which of course not a human car, will not pick up the points in 19th position for OWR. But Neil dominating out on track, but the rest marred by bits of contact that weren't really needed and driving standards that fell way below the mark. And I'm sure you guys will be appreciative of the action that we have had in Mini League 3. Overall, the drivers have been very clean. I know it's the final race of the season, the final race of the league, and I know how desperation can kick in, but some parts of the desperation that we've seen there out on track, not really needed. Take it like a league race, fight everyone fairly out on track, and score points for your team. So, simple. Neo wins from Cup in 2nd. Gary has finished in 3rd, Legend in 4th, Ryder across the line in 5th with Killer Blue in 6th, Charlie 7th, Dan in 8th, Marcel in 9th, Pariah in 10th, Hardly PM in 11th, Fax Viking in 12th, DJ Deal 13th, Marcus 14th, Axner in 15th, RP James 16th, Isotopic 17th, Vanderlei 18th. They all pick up points because Braywich wasn't he was an AI car and he doesn't pick up any points for the final point scoring position. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the action out on track. The next time we are going to be live for action will of course for the mini league be next week. League 1 and League 2 going to be taking you through. That one will be myself, Kevin McGinley, Z3xer, and myself, as I've already said. So Kevin McGinley, Z3xer for League 1. League 2, possibly it's going to be me. I might have Aidan Carter alongside me, or I will certainly have Conti alongside me. So Conti will be alongside me for League 2. So hopefully we get to see some good racing out on track, and again hopefully the standards of driving might be a bit better out on track as well. Mini League 3 is over and done with. I think Excel have won it, so congratulations to them for winning. I'm now going to go off and rest up because I've been commentating nearly for the last 3 hours, so honestly I'm shattered. I'm absolutely shattered. But thank you so much for tuning in for Mini League 3. I've been James Head. Please take care of yourselves, stay at home, protect the NHS, protect wherever the health service wherever you live as well, and save lives. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye. And also follow at Esports Mini on Twitter for the standings. Standings will come through unofficially on there. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.